Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Artist to Artist. I am your host. My name is Angie, and today we're talking about something that I think a lot of newer artists and more experienced artists are really struggling with, and that is managing the cost of your kit, especially when makeup prices are getting higher and higher every day. And maybe you're someone who's not getting access to really well paid jobs. Maybe you're not working all that much. The reason I wanted to do this episode today, and this is going to be a shorter one because I've been working really hard for you on something. Amazon Prime Days are just around the corner. So today and tomorrow, October 8th and 9th, Amazon Prime Days are happening. I thought this would be a really great time to dive into how I'll say scale the quality of products I use depending on the job I'm doing and how you can do the same thing while still maintaining those professional standards. I have set up an Amazon storefront for you to display some of the more cost effective products I use in my kit. That's what I've been working on. That's why today's episode is going to be a little shorter, but trust me, it's going to be worth it. As makeup artists, we know that our kit is one of our biggest investments, but when you're just starting out or if you're not working consistently, it's very easy to fall into the trap of spending too much on high-end products, spending too much on products you're not ever going to use. And quite honestly, you don't need to do this. And I know how hard it is with social media in your face all the time with new products. And we've talked about buying that confidence. I've talked about this in previous episodes, and you really need to take a deep breath, step back, and try your hardest not to do this because it is so expensive to do this ridiculous job. Here's one of the things I do to sort of manage the costs of my kit. And this is something a lot of artists do. It's not just me. I know a lot of people that do this. I just think people don't talk about it that often. I will scale the quality of products I am using based on the job that I'm doing. For certain jobs where maybe I'm not getting paid a lot or the makeup's only going to be on for 1 to 2 hours, maybe it's a commercial shoot, a smaller event, maybe I'm doing a favor for somebody, I am comfortable using more affordable drugstore products. And to be honest, a lot of drugstore products these days are amazing. So it's not that you're sacrificing quality. It's just that sometimes the perception of drugstore products in your kit when you're building your reputation is not great. And I say this every time I talk about drugstore products where you only have access to drugstore products, and that is fine. That is normal in your market, and it's not something you need to think about. For everybody else who's not in a market like that, or you work in a place where you have access to everything, drugstore products in your kit, not great for your reputation. When I'm working with really high paying clients, when I'm at weddings, when I'm on bigger commercials or campaigns where there's being a lot of content captured or I'm being seen by clients, maybe potential future clients, I will use those higher end products. I will make sure I place them front and center, even if I'm maybe not using them. And this isn't just because these products perform well, it's also about perception. Clients notice what products you're using. We've talked about this before. They just sit there and stare at your kit when they're getting their makeup done. And other clients who aren't maybe having their makeup done or who are producers or maybe clients that are hiring you for a job, people love looking at our kits and kind of shopping through them. People often associate high-end brands with skill and professionalism. Even if me and you know as pros, that's not always the case. You can have a terrible makeup artist with the best products in their kit. And you can also have the opposite. This is why I wanted to spend some time building up an Amazon store for you. I have curated a list of products that I've tested myself, that I personally use in my kit, that are affordable and that perform just as well, even better than some of the more expensive options. In the show notes, I'm going to link you to my Amazon storefront. I've done one for my Canadian listeners and I've done one for my US listeners. And this is where you can shop for everything I use from skin prep to lashes, lip products, complexion products. These are all things that I am currently using in my kit and will continue to use. And if you follow me on Amazon, I'm going to be updating this regularly. It's something I've stepped away from because for a while there, not a lot of people were looking at my Amazon storefront or looking at my link in bio. But now I think because people are having a hard time financially, the cost of makeup is really skyrocketing. I think there's more of a need for this type of thing. You need affordable options that you can kind of bake into your kit with all of your other stuff so that you can find ways to save money. So the Amazon storefronts are going to be there for you. And with the Prime Days, you're going to be able to stock up on a lot of things. So check out those links after this episode. It's the perfect time to restock your kit. And I often restock my kit usually around the end of the year because of things like Amazon Prime, Black Friday. And this time of year too, there's usually a lot of holiday sets that are out there. So you can try different things. You can add higher end products in smaller sizes to your kit, which is always nice. And just having smaller sizes of some things is also very helpful. For me at this time of year, I often find I'm restocking. Also, generally speaking, just how my profits go in the year after wedding season is usually when I have a spike in how much I'm earning. It's a good time for me to restock for the next year. And with your low cost supplies and things like that, just remember while we're talking about it, always buy in bulk with the things that you really like so you can save more money. And you will find if you can kind of do this as often as possible, taking advantage of sales, buying things in bulk when they're either on sale or they're more affordable when you buy a larger quantity, doing this will help cut your costs over time significantly. I do want to talk about keeping your kit looking clean and professional and organized, even if you are using some of those more affordable drugstore items, and that's through depotting. Now, we know my love hate relationship with depotting, it is still continuing. I'm mostly on the hate side right now. The cost, guys, the cost of these containers, the time, the money, the effort, the broken products. I can't even talk about the repressing. To me, this is just the most insane thing. It's like makeup artist violence. I have lost so much money in product from depotting, from broken products, from moving products from one container to another, only having both the container or pallet break and the product break. And please think about the depotting situation. Try to keep it easy on yourself. And remember, time is money for us too. And sometimes depotting takes a ton of time when you could be, I don't know, posting stuff on your social, hanging out with your family, going for a walk, just doing anything that's not sitting at a table, breaking cosmetics that you've worked very hard for. I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent on this right now, but with the drugstore products, there probably is going to be some more depotting that you should do. And again, just going on the premise here that we're working in markets where we have access to products not only sold at the drugstore. If you are going to take advantage of some of these drugstore options that I'm going to be sharing with you, I really encourage you to make sure you're still keeping your kit looking professional while you're keeping the cost down. Depotting your drugstore items is a really simple way to kind of streamline your setup, make sure your kit looks polished. Clients don't really know what's in your kit, so you'll want to do this so that your kit looks like other pro artist kits in your market. Because remember, it's always a competition. People are going to be comparing what you're doing, what the makeup you're applying looks like, what your kit looks like. And I think it's kind of like high-low shopping in fashion, but for makeup, you're going to have some expensive stuff. You're going to bring in some of the more affordable options, and you're just going to make it look like they're all one big happy family in your kit. Okay. The things I repackage, we'll say, or depot are usually foundations and blush and powder, provided the depotting process is going to be simple. Things like the Maybelline pressed powder, pretty easy to depot. A lot of the liquid foundations, very simple. I put mine in a 15 ml dropper bottle, just things like that. You don't have to go crazy, but those are the things like bigger packaging that's really identifiable as being a drugstore product. Mascara is in a category on its own. I think as a society, we know drugstore mascaras are just as good as high end, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just all of the other stuff, especially the complexion powders, foundations, concealers. Lip colors are easy to depot as well. I'm trying to think what else. I'm actually looking at my kit right now. There's some concealers that I can't depot that I just have in original packaging, but I just kind of tuck them away in my kit. And what I put on my station are the more expensive products or the brands like Dior, Charlotte Tilbury, brands like that where my clients know what it is. I'll put them on my station even if I'm not using them just to put the show on for my clients. Now, I said at the beginning of the episode, I will bring out the big guns when the stakes are higher. All of my wedding clients get the best. I roll out the red carpet, all the Charlotte Tilbury, the Dior, all that fancy stuff is out there. Major campaigns, or if I'm going to be seen by other industry people who might be potential clients. When I'm going to be seen on social, it's important for me to make sure that drugstore products are very limited. I know this seems very superficial, but this is all strategic. And these are things that you really do have to think about because I'm always going to encourage you to take every opportunity and make the most of it. And unfortunately, we're in a very image-focused industry. I've said this before as well on many episodes. And you got to just get what you can. So making sure when there is content filming, which for me is almost all the time now, things are clean and organized. The big expensive products are out on my station. Everything looks good to a point. When I'm in the middle of a campaign with 5 people, obviously the station's not going to be good. And I'll ask my clients not to film my station at that point. But that's when I bring out all the good stuff, so to speak. What we're trying to do when we do this, or what I'm trying to do, is reinforce that I am using high-end products because I'm a skilled professional artist, and that's part of the experience we're giving our clients. That's what our clients are paying for. Clients associate more expensive products with more skill. We know it's not true, but that's just the way it is. While affordable products and drugstore products can work amazingly well most of the time, there's a lot of products out there that are so good now. I always tell newer artists, so if you're listening and you are a newer makeup artist, please hear me when I say you can start mixing in those drugstore products into your kit and start working them in once you've started the process of building that trust with your clients. Once you're more established and confident in your skills, you'll know when it's appropriate to sneak in more drugstore items because by that point, your clients already trust the results you're going to deliver. You've earned your reputation. You know what you're doing. You know how products translate on camera. So you can start to save some money by bringing in some more affordable products, by sneaking them in and kind of mixing them in with your better quality items. You really do have to make sure you're familiar with the nuances of makeup application in different settings before you can start dabbling in products that are more cost effective. And that's also when you can start scaling the products that you're using in your kit to the job and to the rate that you're getting. And I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know if I've spoken about this before. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. When I do the Harlequin romance novel book covers, we're working fast and furious. The makeup is only on for an hour, and I usually only have less than an hour to do makeup and hair for male and female talent. Most of the times, I'm using a lot of drugstore products, especially lip colors, cheek colors. I go through so much product on a job like that. It doesn't make sense for me to use my most expensive lipsticks, foundations, concealers in that scenario. One, the makeup's not on for very long. Two, I'm just going to come out and say it, the rate's not fantastic. And three, a lot of the images are so heavily retouched anyways. And the way the talent is lit, we're not picking up those things on the skin like the camera would on something like a velour lash campaign. That's where I kind of bring in those more affordable items. And I've tested a lot of these drugstore items that you're going to see on my Amazon store on set with Harlequin. That's a perfect example of when I scale down what I'm using in my kit. When I'm creating content there, though, if I want to show off a certain product, I'll work it in and I'll use it and I'll post about it. But when I'm just kind of hammering through makeup applications and I have very little time and it's 8 talent a day, there's not a lot of point in me using a $70 foundation in that environment. If you're a newer makeup artist, I have said this many times, we're in a job where you need money to make money. Your first kit is going to be thousands of dollars. Remember, you're stepping into a profession where you are going to be immediately compared to people who have 3 or 4 times more experience than you do, and you need every advantage you can get. And part of that is making sure you have a kit that looks pro. Does this mean you have to mortgage your house to have an entire kit of Tom Ford Hourglass Dior? No. There's a lot of affordable products. You want to take advantage of pro discounts. The links to my Amazon store will have a lot of information about the products that I like, how I use them, some of the tips that I have to share with you because I have some videos on there for you. And I think going through that will give you an idea of where you can save some money when it comes to building your kit. And you'll be able to feel out what you think is going to work for you. I am going to be continuing to update the Amazon storefront. I'm doing this not just to help newer artists, it's for myself too. I need to save money on my own kit. As we get into the end of the year, usually at the beginning of the year during the winter here in Toronto, jobs are less and less and I need to replenish my kit, but I have to watch what I'm spending. So yes, I'm doing this to help you out, but also I'm going through this process myself because I too am looking for more affordable products to use in my kit. I'm not the type of artist that is looking for dupes per se. I don't like dupes. I think people spend more money than it's worth on finding dupes. There are certain things that I will always buy and I'm fine with spending the money. But then there are certain things where I have more flexibility and I'm always looking for more affordable options, especially things that I use so much of in my kit, like lipsticks, powder foundations, even just regular foundations as well. I've got some suggestions for you on my Amazon store. This is definitely something I want to continue doing. I'm going to test things when I think it's the right thing to do, when products look interesting to me. I'm hoping for more PR from some of the drugstore brands. I'm hoping that's another reason why I'm doing this, so I can have the opportunity to test out more things for you, see how things go, see how products look on camera. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Check out the show notes. Check out my Amazon storefront links. Make sure you're following me on all the platforms, please. The more engagement I have, the better that looks to the brands that I'm pitching to. Hopefully, I can try more things and let you know where you should spend your money so you're not wasting money. And I think that's everything for today's episode. As you know, the best way to ask questions about any content in the episodes is on YouTube. Link for that will be in my show notes. I hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you on the next episode. Bye.